Sorry. I just need to like pull up and sign on. How are your LME classes though?
I didn't go this week because I was like not feeling well, and then they're okay. I just have to submit lesson plans for one of the assignments.
Yeah.
And then I have to work on my CalTPA that I have not started yet.
TPA 2, right?
Yeah, but I'm using this whole weekend to work on it.
When is it due?
It's due October 30th.
In like a week?
Yeah.
Oh, a week and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, but 2, 3, and 4 is like super fast.
Yeah.
2 is assessment.
It's designing instruction.
3 is for ELs and 4 is for SPED.
Yeah. Okay, hold on 1 second.
The 1 is the only one that's like super long because 2 lesson plans.
Oh, right.
It's about rotations, transformations, and translations, and that's really annoying to actually like type out.
Yeah,
Explain
it is.
Yeah, because it's more like visual than anything, so it's kind of annoying.
But you got to be explicit on the TPAs.
Yeah.
You know, they are looking for like very specific things, and so.
So, what's the passing score for the CalTPA?
3.
3? Okay.
Out of 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the example that they gave us is 4.
And what was the example?
It was on sedimentary rocks. It's a science, elementary science.
That's cool. Okay, almost ready.
We almost take a long time.
I know, it's hard.
It's a Chromebook, I know. It's an old Chromebook, not even a new one.
Okay, so this is like our 7th coaching cycle meeting. It's crazy. Yes, it's our 7th one. So the agenda for today, I'm hoping we can do like a brief check-in. We'll reflect on your how you felt your lesson went for math fundamentals, the class I was in today, and then we will identify a goal skill to work on for next week. Okay. I heard that in the beginning you're feeling sick. You're starting to feel sick?
No, I've been sick for the past like week and a half. It's like on and off. It's like there's like a day that I feel like a lot better, and the next day I feel like crap. It's like it's kind of crazy.
Are you taking care of yourself?
I am. I mean, I'm not eating a lot of vegetables. That's probably why. Yeah, my diet has gone significantly down since summer.
What do you mean diet? Are you like looking for like a specific
No. Just like, I mean, diet is just a habit of eating, right?
Yeah.
I'm not on a diet or anything.
Yeah.
It's just
I
like,
got that.
compared to summer when I had time to actually
Yeah, meal
cook,
prep. Yeah.
now I don't, so I've been eating like fast food or eating out, and so I haven't really been able to eat the fruits and vegetables that I normally eat.
Yeah.
So I've been kind of supplementing now recently with like juice and stuff like that, so I still get my vitamins. But yeah, diet's hard when I'm out to like past 8 every day.
Yeah.
So,
what does your schedule look like? What are you doing? I know you have church and fellowship, which is usually
I have
Fridays.
volleyball practice
Oh,
from 5:30
okay.
to 7:30. Like that's why I'm trying to push for like 6-period sports, because that's how every other school does it, and it does that so coaches don't have to kill themselves like and wait till like 8 p.m. every day.
So period 6 sports, or at least period 7, right?
At least period 7, but period 6 sports would be optimal, so that we are done at 4:30 as we're supposed to be done at 4:30. Yes. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but
it's worth trying. You don't know the answer until you ask, right? Okay, so I was in math fundamentals today
Uh-huh.
for period 6 at the very beginning of the day. If you remember, I was there to work with Carlos and Che, and just like wanted to share with you that I checked in with Carlos at the beginning of class, right? I talked to him outside, and I asked him if he wanted to work with me and Che, and he actually declined. He was like, "Oh, I don't feel like I need support. I feel like I understand everything." And I asked him like, "Oh, that's okay. Like, I know you have a really good understanding and just like wanted to offer support." And I opened that opportunity for him, and he said that he can work with his partner. So that's like why I didn't work with him. How do you feel like overall like your class went today?
Well, the seat changes actually have been pretty good. Well, I didn't make the seat change. They made the seat change themselves. So Jose is further away, just even one seat. Kevin got his work done today, for the most part. He stopped trying once he got to the word problems, but he was very diligent in getting the first 2 pages down. And I was like, oh, yeah, he's actually getting work done. And then Andric and Aldo, they weren't causing anything today, so that's good. And then Jay was working with you, so that was also good. I think having someone there just like sitting down with them is like a good thing. And the fact that there was 2 bodies in there, I was able to help out other students, like, you know, that you were working with Jay. Like, it wouldn't work if I'm alone. Like, that would never work out. But it was good. Fredo wanted to sit there the way that he wanted to sit, but he got his work done, and he got his work done yesterday as well. So, personal seat changes have been very good. I think they're trying a little bit more now that, you know, they realize, one, they don't have a very good grade, and 2, that they can actually do something about it. So I think it's working at the moment. I don't know how long it's gonna go, because, you know, with students you never know how long they're gonna keep this up for. But hopefully they'll keep it up for a while. We'll see. I need to design a midterm pretty soon for them. But yeah, I'm a little worried about Claudia and Andrea, because they always turn in uncompleted work, and they know my policy. I never accept uncompleted work. Like, I want to see you at least try. Like, it's okay to be wrong, but if it's incomplete because you didn't want to do it, then I don't collect it. And then they just left 2 papers on their desks. So one from yesterday and one from today, completely incomplete. I mean, and then they just left. And then I called their names, but they didn't turn it. So yeah.
I didn't catch the second name. I heard Claudia and.
Oh, Andrea, she's in my geometry class.
Because they frequently turn in incomplete work. And your policy right
There's
now.
no incomplete work ever. Because incomplete work is a 0. Even if you have a third done, 2/3 done, 90% done, if you don't finish all of it, then at least attempt to do it. Then it's a 0.
Okay. So to synthesize everything that you just said, I heard that the new seat changes, and after having a sort of like a whole class reset last week, has been working out really well.
Yep.
Separating Jose and Kevin from each other.
There's even 1 seat.
Even 1 seat apart from each other has led to more productivity for both of them, it sounds like?
No, same productivity for Jose, because Jose usually works and talks. Not that he finished today, but that's kind of where he is. He usually finishes about 80% or so. And then it's just Kevin who, you know, took the big hit. But now Kevin is actually finishing. I mean, he still gave up on the word problems, but I think that's a different problem. It's not his productivity.
And it also sounded like Fredo was able to get his work done too, right?
Without distracting.
He wasn't distracting anybody. You're right. And Che got a lot of work done up until he got called into the office.
Yeah.
And using that data, like what is that making you think about in terms of your practice and like how you can continue working towards like building a momentum of like, yes, I'm going to be doing work in class and this is what I'm doing.
I think keeping the things that are right now, I think it's good. And hopefully, if you can push it more whenever you can, I think that'll be just very helpful in general, just for Che. Because I can't just sit with Che and just work with Che, because the other students also need it. So I think that model is like really good. The push-in model, someone being with Che. I think Carlos needs it too, but he's a little.
Right now it's opt-in, right?
Yeah.
He's opted out,
Yeah.
and so like if I force him, then I'm not sure how
he'll react. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
You're right. I do agree with you. I'm hoping he would want to opt in too. I think I have to give it a little bit more time. Yeah.
And I think giving them work that won't fail them in a way. Because I mean, I'm not like dumbing down the standards because I'm literally going over what you guys are going over. It's two-step equations. So, yeah, I think they just need a little bit more time to build up their skills. Because you guys are going to be doing multi-step equations tomorrow and multi-step equations all throughout next week. I looked at the thing. So, yeah, I mean, they're going to be like, doing this again? But I'm going to be like, yeah.
Well, the point is to supplement, right, what they're doing in Algebra B, and also, like, Algebra B may be going slightly faster than what
we are
they're able to
faster.
do. Yeah, that's true. Which is good, too, because, like, now they're coming into Algebra B later on today, and they should be, like, somewhat familiar with the process of solving two-step equations. Okay, and how do you see yourself, like, sort of, like, continuing to build more of like an alignment with Algebra B?
Well, I think, at the moment, like, just looking at what Algebra B is doing, like, throughout the week, I mean, Keisha used to give us that, like, through an email, so, like, we know what was going on, but now we have to actively go seek it out. I don't know what happened, but there was no communication with that, so I was kind of like, oh, okay. So there was, like, a week or two where I was just, like, kind of feeling it out, like, oh, what should I work on, kind of thing. But yeah, I just went ahead and looked at what they were going over and how to talk with Keisha a little bit, like, as we just kind of like see each other. And so I think, yeah, for right now, just extra practice for whatever they learn. It's kind of awkward because I have a first and sixth period Algebra B. I have no idea. I mean
first and what?
First and sixth math fundamentals. Like, that makes no sense to me. A lot of things wrong with that, but I'm just saying, like, algebra. I mean, math fundamentals should always be after algebra. Because like my first period students or my sixth period students, depending on what day, they're getting material that they didn't like get direct instruction on. So it's like for them, like at that day, they have like incredibly like difficult time because like I mean it's supposed to be a support class for Algebra B, so it's kind of weird sometimes. I mean, of course, I mean like I still go over things, so it's not like that big of a problem, but it's just like, yeah, I feel like there's a lot of things that we as the math department or scheduling can do better to actually find the like things needed for this class to really succeed. But I feel like it was just kind of a thought and then they just went for it, but there was no actual like, you know, sitting down and thinking what needs to be done in order for this class to be like fully functional. So yeah, there's like just awkward moments, but in terms of just like how can I just continue to support Algebra B or like me in line, it's just like look at what Algebra B is going over and giving them extra problems that deals with that, not using CUDA because Keisha uses CUDA. So I've been trying to hunt for problems that aren't CUDA. So these aren't from CUDA, but they're pretty similar, but still not CUDA. So that in itself was better, and also a lot more word problems.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with all of what you said. I'm also thinking about like mathematically and logically thinking about if Algebra B is spending 1 day on one-step equations, like, and like we both know a lot of our students need a lot of practice on like solving one-step equations for variables. Like, how would you like support the idea of like giving students more time in math fundamentals? You know?
Well, I skipped over one-step equations altogether because they already knew how to do it. They just needed to pull it out. Because last week or the week before, I gave them multi-step equation stuff, and they were able to do most of it. And so I figured, oh, like I know like Keisha's actually like formally gonna go over one-step equations, then two-step. I just started them off with two-step. And I think they're all getting in the hang of doing two-step. It's just like the word problems that they're stuck on, which I understand. So I am gonna move on to multi-step because I think they get the two-step. So I'm probably gonna stay in multi-step for a long time, or at least a whole week next week. And I know that's what you guys are doing for the whole week next week too. But we'll see if they are able to do better on your quizzes or whatever, and that they're able to do decently on my quiz. And I know it's time to move on to whatever you guys are gonna do next week. But if I know that they're still struggling, then we'll still continue to work on multi-step equations. Yeah, and in terms of word problems, I'm just probably gonna have a mix of word problems, like two-step equation word problems, multi-step equation word problems, or even one-step, word problems. Like I think word problems in general, like kids are just having a hard time. But there are some students like are getting the hang of like word problems because they had it yesterday and they're doing it much better today. And so I think just being exposed to word problems every day is going to be helpful to students in general. Yeah, because like when you're going through a textbook, like every day you do a word problem.
Right.
Yeah, because you do like a number of problems, and then like 80% of the problems are like your typical like regular problems, and then 20% would be like word problems.
The critical thinking portion of it.
But it's like we've lost that because our math department doesn't use textbooks anymore. And so when we use Khan, they're not really word problems. And so I feel like that's where students are, having a hard time because they don't see word problems every day.
So I see what you're saying. So you're saying is that there's an opportunity for math fundamentals to provide more of a similar structure to like what we've been used to.
I mean, not just math fundamentals. I think just our entire math department.
Right.
I mean, I know Peter does. I mean, he just has word problems up on his class. But I think every day for homework or whatever, like they should be exposed to some sort of word problem each day, dealing with the content that we're going over. Because like the word problems like isn't always going to be like algebraic expressions. Like sometimes it's going to be shapes. Like sometimes it's going to be whatever. Just like being exposed to more words, so that they don't shut down when they just see like 4 sentences and they don't know what to do because they don't want to do anything. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think that's just like for all the math classes, and of course more so for algebra. I mean math fundamentals and learning lab if it stays. I don't know what the conditions of that going to be next year, but yeah.
Okay. So it sounds like you really want to push forward with word problems.
I mean, because SAT is all word problems. ACT is not, but there are word problems. SBAC, there's a lot of word problems.
I agree.
And so it's like, if we aren't getting kids used to word problems and the wordings that are there, then are we actually doing anything? Because then also like word problems are like, on the DOK, I think it's pretty high because like you have to understand the problem, what they're asking for, and then translate like different pieces like into things that you need to solve the problem, and then you solve the problem. And also, it's just good literacy skills that kids just need to learn. Because then you have a text and you are able to understand what it means and what you need to pull out. So it actually helps them be better critical readers as well. I mean, of course, like you're thinking in numbers, but like the concept is the same for critical reading. You are pulling out important information within that text that they read. So it's like very similar. And
I agree.
And our kids are super low in that. And I'm also taking a literacy class, and so this is something I have to be constantly thinking about. And that's also what LMU's lesson plan requires, is that not just the lesson, but what literacy lesson are you also pushing forth in this class. And then I feel like in the math class, like literacy in terms of reading and writing has to come from
word problems in math.
Yes.
I totally agree. I'm really, 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 really excited because I'm hearing a lot of alignment in terms of rigor for our students, and also exposure to the type of problems they're going to see on SBAC, SAT, all of the stuff that are sort of high stakes for our kids. It sounds like we are naturally moving towards taking a look at how we can incorporate instructional strategies that will push forward students' ability to decode word problems. And so one proposal that I have for you is, what if we took one word problem for next week? It could be any word problem, and we can dissect it together and then see how we can teach it, how we would dissect it in front of students.
Yeah.
Does that sound okay with you? Okay. So next week you mentioned that you're gonna be doing multi-step equations. Do you want to sit down together before the observation to figure out how we would dissect it before the lesson?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay. Yeah, I'm really interested because this would help me too.
Yeah.
In math, in algebra B. I want to see how you do it, because I know you do it in a specific way. And I'm not sure if I was able to see you doing Institute to dissect a word problem.
Oh. Yeah, dissecting a word problem, yeah. I did not teach that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I taught how to do multi-step equations properly.
That's good. Yeah. But I'm interested because Keisha's probably going to put in, word problems with multi-step, and so if I can learn from you, that would be really great.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Is there a time that works best for you next week?
Just always fourth period.
Always fourth period. Okay.
Because I don't have anything fourth period.
Okay.
It's my prep period.
Can we check in on Monday with a word problem? Just one word problem?
Yeah.
Okay. Check in on Monday. And that would be good for me too, because we're probably going to be going over word problems toward the end of the week. So that if I can learn from you, and then I see how you do it, it'll be really good. And then it'll be on multi-step?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, I'm excited. Okay, so on your end, just choose one word problem that you plan to go over with Math Fundamentals.
Okay, it'll probably just be one of the questions on the worksheet that I make in the morning or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
No, today went well. I was
Yeah.
happy. I mean, it was also because it's the morning, but I was surprised with yesterday because it was not the morning, and kids were doing work. I was like, what the heck,
What do you think you did differently?
I think it's just kids are taking more responsibility. I think after the talk, it was very helpful. I mean, of course,
Reset.
Yeah, with Che it's harder because he actually has a condition. So for him, it's he's still distracted a little here and there, but he got work done yesterday too. I was kind of surprised. Yeah, actually. And
I'm really glad. I was there for 75% of the period today,
yeah.
and I was also really happy to see there seems to be a shift in the culture.
Yeah.
It feels more positive. It feels a lot more productive. Students were actively doing their work.
Yeah, John finished his work.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? You do work? And then
Yeah.
He's like, I got you.
Yeah. And I feel like you were able to check in with multiple groups, and so I was really happy to see that. Yeah.
So.
It's good.
Right now, yeah, it looks good so far.
Good. And then just like to close out, Monday we'll briefly check in on how to dissect a word problem on multi-step equations, and then I'll send out an email on Sunday regarding like when I'll be coming in for the observation. Hopefully that'll be like on the word problem.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Anything else?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, like 6th period and 1st period is so different. It's so weird. Because like 1st period, most of them work at the same pace.